Actors on soaps are also in a unique position as they are a part of SAG-AFTRA but work under a different contract called the National Code of Fair Practice for Network Television Broadcasting or NetCode. The NetCode contract governs unscripted reality shows, game shows, news shows, and non-primetime programs like soap operas, and isn't due for renegotiation until July 2024. Meaning actors under NetCode contracts are permitted to keep working on NetCode-affiliated projects and aren't crossing picket lines to do so. The effects of the Writers and Actors Guild strikes are being felt across Hollywood, with press junkets and red carpets all but drying up. Soap operas have been mostly insulated from this disruption because of bank scripts and the separate NetCode contract that allows them to continue production. This insulation, however, comes at a cost as the serial daily nature of soap operas makes them susceptible to outright cancellation should they go off the air for lack of scripts to film. So, as scripts run out, more of your favorite daytime soaps could also turn to scab writers to keep them going. Peace wrote on her Instagram that it would be painful to see characters and storylines developed by General Hospital's writer's room handed over to others, the hope that viewers would still support the show while also supporting the striking writers. Hoping the AMPT does the right thing soon, not just for writers, but for the integrity of storytelling. The Verge has reached out to Disney for comment. Lenovo is at MWC 2023 to make a pitch for a rollable future. It's got a prototype rollable laptop and a prototype rollable phone. Both have screens that can expand to give you more screen real estate. General Hospital and more soap opera writers face a unique conflict during the WGA strike, as many are being replaced by temporary scribes to keep the genre alive. Starting next week, the show will be pinned exclusively by scab writers, which is heartbreaking. General Hospital writer Shannon Peace explained via Instagram on Friday, July 21. Daytime writers face a unique conflict during strikes. Peace, who has been a breakdown writer on the series since 2021, continued, "We hate to see our characters and storylines handed over to writers who cross the picket line. But we're also keenly aware that stopping production could spell the demise of soap operas." Peace noted that her Thursday, July 20, General Hospital episode was the last one she wrote before the Writers Guild of America, WGA, strike began in May. She revealed that beginning on Tuesday, July 25, the full-time writers on the soap opera will no longer have control over what happens to the show's beloved characters. Starting Tuesday, the writing team of G8 will be watching alongside fans to see what happens. "For the sake of the fans, I hope the show is in capable writing hands," she continued. "But I have to also acknowledge the pain of knowing that characters we've developed, relationships we built, and stories we planned are being handled by others." Peace added, "Still, my hope is that if you love GH, you'll continue to watch. You can morally support the writers and keep the show the air." In May, the Writers Guild of America, WGA, which is made up of TV writers and film scribes, called for the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, to update their current contracts to better line up with the current media landscape. Some of the union's demands include better wages and streaming residuals. Unlike their scripted TV counterparts, soap operas, including General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, The Bold and the Beautiful, and The Young and the Restless, don't have the same rules when it comes to a strike. Soap opera actors are employed under the SAG-AFTRA National Code of Fair Practice for Network Television Broadcasting (ACA) Network Code. According to Deadline, when it comes to soap operas, SAG-AFTRA negotiates with the Big Four broadcast networks and other producers, not the AMPTP. Their current agreement goes through July 2024. The network code, however, doesn't extend to the writers. Therefore, the long-running series will move forward with non-WGA member writers who have crossed the picket lines. Soap operas, however, aren't the only productions that have been affected by the ongoing WGA strike and the SAG-AFTRA picketing, which began earlier this month. While most shows have ceased filming, and SAG-AFTRA members have been told they aren't allowed to promote any projects. Several scripted series, including HBO's House of the Dragon, has continued to shoot. Sign up for Us Weekly's free daily newsletter and never miss breaking news or exclusive stories about your favorite celebrities, TV shows, and more. House of the Dragon, which films in the UK, is not affected by the strikes because most of its stars are part of the UK union equity. When Calls the Heart, meanwhile, negotiated and waking up to find out he'd been thrown out of the plane wearing a parachute, Scott was horrified to realize that Obrecht had been kidnapped. And while he wasn't able to go to Greece with the others to help bring her home, he was relieved when she was brought back to Port Charles badly injured but alive. He later tried popping the question, but she turned him down, not wanting to ruin the good thing they already had going. Scott represented Nina Reeves in her attempt to gain visitation rights to Wiley, and dragged Michael through the mud to do it, but ultimately failed. He also took on Trina Robinson's case to prove she'd been framed for leaking the sex tape of Cam and Joss, but was unable to appear in court for the trial, leaving Diane to take over for him. Upon his return to Port Charles, Scott was stunned to meet Cody Bell, who punched him in the face before revealing that he was Dominique's son. Things cooled down after Cody apologized, and he even went to Scott for legal advice about claiming the diamond necklace that once belonged to his father. When Liz asked for help, he represented her as she confessed to her involvement in the kidnapping of Esme Prince and got her immunity for her testimony against Nicholas. Unfortunately, defending Liz upset Obrecht, who blamed Liz for interfering in the investigation into the Hook killings that led to Britt's death. Scott tried to make things right, but while Obrecht admitted she still loved him, she couldn't be with him anymore. When Cody asked Scott to defend him against the accusations he stole a bracelet, the attorney turned him down. But after learning that the Ice Princess necklace had been lost in the bombing that took out Victor, Scott decided that he wanted to sue the WSB for destroying Serena and Cody's inheritance. Stay tuned to see how Scott's story continues. Love G8. Be sure to join our We Love General Hospital Facebook group to chat about all the latest storylines and juicy gossip. Popular stories. Davies of Our Lives. Greg Vaughn reveals why he had to be temporarily recast on Days. General Hospital. Chad Duell nearly welcomed his son prematurely. General Hospital. Avery Kristen Pohl reveals what it's like working with baby Ace on GH. Related stories. General Hospital. Dominic Zamprogna goes tailor-gating with his daughters. General Hospital. Who is Trish on General Hospital? General Hospital. General Hospital spoilers 8/10/23. Eddie flirts with Carly. Chaos erupts in these General Hospital spoilers. Chase tries to wrangle the aftermath of the bar fight, and Olivia refuses to confess. Finn confides in Liz, Mason pressures Austin, Dante reacts to Sam's suggestion. Someone is stalking Anna, and Nana realizes Sonny is missing as he tries to help Carly at the police station. Following the bar fight at the High Cider, those involved have been arrested and brought to the PCPD to face charges. Would anyone like to make a call? Chase asks the assembled group, and in the interrogation room, Olivia insists, "I'm not admitting that I did anything wrong." Finn and Liz have been doing pretty well rekindling their relationship, so the doctor decides it's time to open up. Maybe there's someone that'll be better for Violet, he suggests. Is he talking about Elizabeth? It looks as though Mason was taken to the hospital after he was knocked out in the bar fight because he's there putting pressure on Austin again. You have as much writing on this as I do, Mason cautions. Having returned home from discussing the ongoing shooting investigation with Anna, Dante gets ready for bed, but Sam has some news of her own to share with him. Whose idea was that? He asks her. Does he not think renting his and Lulu's old home to Maxie would be a good idea? Speaking of Anna, there was someone lurking in the bushes while Dante was visiting her home, and now that she's alone, The stalker is getting closer. Are they planning another hit? Nina is startled when she realizes that Sonny has disappeared. Sonny, she informs someone on the phone. He's gone. Well, that's because he's down at the police station trying to help Carly get out of the bar fight charges. Why do you have a problem with me doing this? He asks his ex-wife. Will Carly accept his help or insist on standing on her own 2 feet? Check out this tease for today's Friday Cliffhanger GH. Love GH? Be sure to join our We Love General Hospital Facebook group to chat about all the latest storylines and juicy gossip. General Hospital, the longest-running American soap opera, is turning to scab writers to keep the show going amidst the Writers Guild of America's ongoing strike. One of the show's writers, Shannon Peace, shared the news on her Instagram account, saying, "Starting next week, the show will be penned exclusively by scab writers, which is heartbreaking." According to Peace, the show has run through all the scripts that were written before the strike began and has now in 1977. He got a job at the hospital and fell in love with Laura Weber. Despite the manipulations of his on-again/off-again lover, Bobby Spencer, Scotty, and Laura became man and wife. Unfortunately, Laura soon fell in love with Luke Spencer and divorced Scotty after just 2 years of marriage. At Luke and Laura's wedding, Scotty caught the bouquet and declared he was contesting the divorce. His darker side came out as he married Susan Moore for her money while having an affair with Heather Weber. After Susan's murder, Scotty left town for a while. In 1987, Scotty returned and got involved in a relationship with Lucy Coe. Although they split up, the pair remained good friends, and when Scotty married Dominique Stanton, Lucy offered to be their surrogate mother because Dominique was dying. Unfortunately, Scotty's wife didn't live long enough to witness Lucy giving birth to their daughter named Serena. After a brief engagement to Catherine Bell, Scotty took Serena and left Port Charles again. Scotty returned in 1997 when Serena was kidnapped. At first, he blamed Lucy, but then they teamed up to find the real kidnapper, Dominique's uncle, Rex Stanton, who was after the little girl's trust fund. Once Serena was home safe and Rex was behind bars, Scotty began dating Dr. Eve Lambert. In the end, though, he found his way back to Lucy, and they became business partners and eventually tied the knot. After their marriage fizzled out, Scotty started dating Laura again, but she was still in love with Luke, which led to her turning down Baldwin's marriage proposal. While Scotty was running for district attorney, Laura recalled killing her father's mistress years ago, and when she went to confront Rick about it, he ended up dead. Laura had a mental breakdown and was committed. After Scotty had won the race, Laura came out of her catatonic state to tell Lulu she didn't kill Rick. It was then revealed that Scotty had been the one who'd accidentally killed Rick trying to protect Laura. Scotty also learned he had a son when ex-soldier Logan Hayes arrived in town, but he was killed by Lulu in self-defense when she caught him beating up Maxie. Furious, Scotty threatened Lulu in front of Laura, which brought her out of her catatonia again. He took Laura to Los Angeles to relive their honeymoon, and her family followed to bring her home. Later, Laura decided to go to France to seek further treatment, and Scotty secretly joined her. In 2013, Scott returned to Port Charles with the news that he and Laura were engaged. Fearing she would again choose Luke, Scott rushed her down the aisle. But she still ended up spending more time with her ex-husband when their daughter, Lulu, was abducted. Giving in, Scott decided it would be best if they split up. He was shocked when Heather revealed that the former serial killer, Franco, is their son, resulting from a drunken hookup many years ago. Scott slowly got to know Franco and began an affair with Lucy. When their affair was publicly exposed at the nurses' ball, and she chose to stay with her husband, Kevin, Scott reconnected with Bobby. But Kevin couldn't forgive Lucy and divorced her, sending her running back to Scott only to find him with Bobby. The two women fought over him until Scott finally made the decision and picked Bobby. Unfortunately, that didn't last because he insisted on pressing charges against Carly for knowing the truth about the death of A.J. Quartermain. Scott was devastated by the deaths of his parents, Lee and Gail Baldwin, and struck up a bit of a flirtation with Ava Jerome. Usually, he's kept very busy in court, often defending clients who aren't particularly innocent. And when Bobby was diagnosed with diabetes, Scott was right there by her side to offer his support. After Franco was implanted with Drew's memories, Scott represented Liz in court as he argued that Franco was still Franco. When Franco was returned to normal, Nicholas returned to Port Charles and Scott warned his son about Liz's past with the Cassadine prince. Nicholas ended up marrying Ava, and they found themselves being blackmailed with pics of them kissing Liz and Franco, respectively. In the end, it was revealed that Scott was helping Liz and Franco blackmail the couple, and he was stunned when they had a change of heart and tore up the checks. Scott next found himself being brought into Laura's latest drama, as she warned him that Cyrus Renault was digging into her past murder of David Hamilton. Scott was heartbroken when Franco was murdered, and stunned when Liesl Obrecht insisted that Peter August was the one responsible for his son's death. A drunken one-night stand between the pair ended up becoming a legitimate relationship as Scott and Obrecht began dating. He agreed to accompany her on a business trip to St. Lucia, but they feared for their lives when it seemed the plane was going down. Weeks that it's finally time for Elizabeth and Finn to sit down and admit where their hearts and heads are really at. Hide the knives, 'cause Nina is going to swing by and visit Willow. Will Michael regret having allowed Willow to invite her mom into her protective bubble? Anna may not yet have all the answers, but she's ready to share what she knows. In this week's General Hospital Soapbox, we're wondering if Cassandra Pierce is Mason and Austin's boss. If you're a fan curious about the character of Trish, the Metro Court hostess on General Hospital, well, we're happy to fill you in on everything you need to know. Trish is played by Trish Ramish, an actress and dancer who has appeared on Broadway in A Chorus Line, danced backup on tour with Cher, and appeared in movies like A Night at the Roxbury and television series like FRASIER and SALKSTALKHE. And as we've previously reported, Ramish is actually the real-life girlfriend of GH star Ken Schreiner, Scott. Trish first appeared during the 2019 Nurses Ball where she was the red carpet coordinator who shot down Scott Baldwin's attempts at flirting. Then the character continued to pop up working as the hostess at the Metro Court restaurant, though she was only ever seen seating characters and occasionally working the bar. Then, in August 2023, Trish offered up a little background as she had a chat with Christina Davis in the Metro Court bathroom. She explained to Christina how she heard about the shelter she was working to build for homeless LGBT youth from her boss, Nana Reeves. Trish revealed that she wished there had been a safe space like that for her brother, who her parents kicked out of the house at 15 for being gay. Christina offered her sympathies when Trish admitted that her brother took off for the city, and they'd never heard from him since. But that just reaffirmed for Trish what an important thing Christina was doing, and that helped boost her flighting confidence in the venture. Now that Trish has moved from the background to have some dialogue, maybe she could give Scott another chance since he's currently on the outs with Liesl Obrecht. In a soap, you never know what might happen tomorrow, so stay tuned. Love GH? Be sure to join our We Love General Hospital Facebook group to chat about all the latest storylines and juicy gossip. On May 11, General Hospital's Ken Schreiner, Scotty, shared a behind-the-scenes photo on Twitter of him sitting at the Metro Court bar with actress Trish Ramish, who plays the hostess at the popular Port Charles Eatery, standing in the background. The picture was taken by one of GH's camera operators, according to Schreiner, who felt compelled to share the snapshot on his Twitter profile. Barb, camera one, took a pic of Scotty and Metro Court hostess Trish Ramish circa yesterday, waiting for the action to start on GH, he wrote. After Schreiner posted the photo, many of his followers responded that they were thrilled to get an inside peek at the backstage happenings at the ABC soap. But there is more to the seemingly random photo than meets the eye. Ramish is Schreiner's longtime real-life girlfriend and has actually appeared on GH on and off since 2019. An actress and dancer in her own right, Ramish had starred on Broadway in A Chorus Line, traveled the world with Cher as one of the superstar's dancers, was a backup dancer in TV shows and movies like Fame and Ignite at the Roxbury, and made guest appearances on FRA Sayer, DWEVS, and Style KSTALKINGS. After meeting Schreiner back in 1994, Ramesh accompanied her beau to several industry events over the years, like the Daytime Emmy Awards. Then, in 2019, Ramesh was given the opportunity to share the screen with her beau when GH hired her to play Trish, the red carpet coordinator for that year's Nurses' Ball. The real-life couple even shared a cute real-life moment when Trish shot down Scotty's flirtatious advances. Since then, Ramesh has made several appearances on the soap as the Metro Court bartender and hostess, which means that she gets to work and play with Schreiner. And it certainly seems like Ramesh has a good sense of humor about being one of GH's day players. I believe that's the unknown blonde, Mr. Baldwin. Ramesh wrote in reply to Schreiner's post, punctuating her quip with a winky face emoji. Scott Baldwin has been on General Hospital for decades, so newer viewers might not be aware of his extensive history in Port Charles. But that's where we come in. The character first appeared in the mid-60s, played by child actor Johnny Whitaker, and after a series of young actors, was aged to an adult in 1977 when Ken Schreiner took over the role. He's come and gone from the soap multiple times over the years, even starring on the GH spin-off, Port Charles for a time. In May 2023, fans worried when the actor tweeted that Scott had been written off the soap. But even though Schreiner only appears now on to dive into a new investigation. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, August 17. In vino veritas. Isn't that how the saying goes? Clearly, Brooke Lynn is hoping it works when she tries using alcohol to get the truth out of Tracy. Dante has known Cody long enough that he's wise to his ways. Felicia is at loose ends and wondering where the road will take her next. Will Finn and Elizabeth's latest heart-to-heart clarify once and for all where they stand? Molly is ready to make a very big announcement. Man, some of y'all have some very unpopular opinions. And when we asked about them, you weren't afraid to share. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, August 18. What's got Sam so concerned? Stop us if you've heard this one before. Sonny makes an offer. And we're betting it's the kind one would be wise not to refuse. Finn is about to get a bit of shocking news. At the same time, Anna has her world rocked. Tracy once again butts heads with Eddie Main, whom she's had just about enough of. Check out the best quotes from around the daytime dial in the gallery below, including the moment that left even Carly saying, "Yeah, that ain't happening." Want the latest scoop on what will be happening in Port Charles over the next 2 weeks? Then you came to the right place, as we got spoilers for July 31 through August 11, and we're ready to share them. Someone's about to make Maxie a very intriguing offer, while Livia will go from trying to talk sense into Eddie to reminiscing with Carly. Meanwhile, Sam and Dante will compare notes, Trina will make a move, and Sonny will attempt to help Carly, who isn't likely to be all that receptive. Read on for all the details. General Hospital spoilers week of July 31. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, July 31. On today's General Hospital, Tracy begins to question Gregory's health. Anna has a warning for Sonny, and Cyrus sees the light. Might that shiv Cyrus slipped Drew a few weeks ago come into play when a fight breaks out at Pentonville? Christina has vowed to do more looking before she leaps, so she wisely opts to seek advice from someone. Meanwhile, Molly, who is continuing to struggle with big decisions, turns to Mom Alexis. Sonny has been carefully observing things of late, and he's ready to formulate a theory. When Tracy accepts an invitation, dare we hope it might be from Gregory, and that she'll be at least a little less mean to him than usual. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, August 1. On today's General Hospital, Cyrus wakes up in hell, TJ and Molly decide not to use Christina as a surrogate, and Carly suspects Avad is in trouble. When Don makes his case, will it prove strong enough? The fates once again push longtime enemies Carly and Ava into one another's lives. When Carly has questions, will Ava answer them truthfully? After weeks of discussion, it looks as if Molly and TJ are ready to make a huge decision that could impact several lives. Meanwhile, someone offers Christina the reassurance she so desperately needs. Alexis has a word of warning for Gregory. We're willing to lay odds that it's with regard to Tracy. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, August 2. Today on General Hospital, Austin has a peculiar exchange of words with Cyrus. Valentin is sent packing by Laura, and Sam has news for Carly about Drew. Will Valentin agree to do what Laura's urging? Martin tends to be a very sharp cookie, but he's definitely caught off guard today. Does the face that Tracy is paying a visit to deception have anything to do with Maxie trying to do some serious damage control? They say the children are the future, so let's see how Leo does when he tries to play peacemaker. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, August 3. On today's episode of General Hospital, Austin realizes Ava told Sunny about Nicholas, Joss and Christina butt heads, and Dex gives Trina advice about Curtis. Spencer and Dex have not been the best of buddies, but Joss and Trina couldn't be closer. So we're very interested to hear what Trina will have to say when she sits down for a chat with Dex. Meanwhile, Jocelyn decides she needs to take Spencer to task. Christina manages to be at the exact wrong place at the exact wrong time. Suspicious eyes are usually aimed Cody's way, so will anyone listen when he's the one to voice the suspicions? Eddie Main, aka Ned's rocking alter ego, is very surprised by what he finds out. As the day nears when General Hospital will have to say goodbye to Bobby, review the beloved character's tear-stained past in a brand new photo gallery. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, August 4. On today's General Hospital, Laura and Kevin hit another dead end in Greece. Ava warns Austin to do better, and Christina gives Nina advice about Michael. Laura has good reason to worry, but can her fretting result in positive actions?